Monique Smith. Boy, did she learn a lot.
Wow.
Wow.
That sounds interesting.
It's
What
very
have-
interesting.
What have you learned from your decisions?
Hmm.
What have you learned from your decisions? Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Ken. That's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Is learning from our decisions.
That's a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't keep repeating them.
That's right. So
Yes.
I am Dr. April Brown. I'm Executive Vice President of Coaching here, and we've got Ken Brown, CEO, and
Good
we've
morning.
got our General Manager here, Butch McCracken.
Okay.
And we just want to welcome y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We are talking about learning from our decisions, how important it is to learn from our decisions, because it's not about making the decision, it's about what you learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes we think it is about making the perfect decision and that everything goes perfectly, but oftentimes things come from those decisions you've made, and you learn from it and you move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
We
where
are
growth
the,
comes from.
The sum of our decisions,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I don't want to say bad, but the training ones
Mm-hmm.
they are the sum of those decisions.
So true. Has there ever been a time where you really had something that actually was a decision that maybe you really, really learned from, and it actually even propelled? I think when I think of this, really thinking of decisions, I think of people that have invented things and have made so many decisions and how to make that, and it's usually through the process of
It's always through the process.
the mistakes, the things that didn't work, that they learned what
Mhm.
did work.
Mhm.
And there's multiple examples of that.
Oh my gosh, countless in our own lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of the greatest inventions were not just one decision. Hey, I nailed it.
No.
Right.
Sometimes it could be 1,000 or 2,000
Oh.
decisions
Yes.
Mhm.
in one thing.
Yes. And people only see the result and think that those people didn't put in hard work.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
always gets me is, well, I can't believe you just got so successful.
I'm so
It's like,
lucky.
oh,
You're
so lucky.
You wake up and there
You
you
got
are.
to see
Hey.
all the scars and arrows in my
Mhm.
back to say that's not true. There is a lot of failure. It's just you don't give up, because success is right the other side, just the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Of failure is success, because you have to keep trying and working through things, because you're not pushing yourself if you're not reaching. I mean, the key thing is, even when you're doing weight training, and we would do such intense weight training in college, and their thing was you have to work till failure.
Yeah.
You would have to work till you couldn't lift anymore. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't sound good. Failure? I'm not going to fail. Oh, yes, you are, because we're going to work you that hard that your
Sure.
muscle can't push anymore. So next time you can do more. And that's the same thing in business. You have to keep pushing into the new things. And it's continual.
That's
And and that's why Destiny Global lives and exists, is to push people out of their comfort zone,
Right.
to drive you, to compel you, to push you, to hold you accountable to reach the next level. And by the way, it's very difficult to reach the pinnacle levels in life. So we all have a ways to go, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find new heights to go to.
And you can't be afraid to make a decision. I remember, oh my gosh, 30 years ago, one of the supermarket chains, they had something called shared values. And they were everywhere that you looked. And one of them, number 9 or whatever, was "We make decisions." That was the title of the shared value. We're not afraid to make decisions. Not just management, but individuals, associates.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Make a decision. And if it's the right one, keep going. If it isn't, learn from it and adjust.
Mm-hmm.
But make a decision.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
so good. It's so true. And, it's interesting because you were talking about Monique, and obviously I want to hear it. And I know that April's been very close to her, and I'm sure has a story or two to share, as I do. But
Yeah, she's actually just one that has not given up. And she's made a decision, and then that decision may or may not pan out, and then she learned from that decision, and then she's pivoted and grown each time and gotten closer and closer each time to really what it is she was designed to do. And she's really walking that out right now, really growing and learning.
Yes. Good job, Monique Smith.
Mhm.
And we see that you are really digging in to kill debt in your life.
Yes.
And that is
Mm.
such an amazing feeling.
Mhm.
Because every post she's doing now, every story,
Yeah.
when she's sharing, it's how she's really digging into that. And in certain places, and she's not here in the States, she's in Canada, and she has managed to find a niche and figure out ways and make incomes and produce and start working to get out of debt, and still attend events and all the other things that she wants to do,
Right.
which takes work.
Yeah.
So we're spilling the tea.
That's right.
She always says, "Spill the tea." We're spilling the
Yes.
tea on
That is
Monique today, and she's been so consistent
Mhm.
to just show up, to keep plugging in, to keep growing, and to keep doing and not giving up.
Yep.
And each time, like, she makes a decision, she's like, okay, that didn't quite work out the way that I had thought, but then she like pivots and makes the next decision. And right now, like you said, she's making that decision of paying off debt, and with that, she's just created this passion to help others to pay off debt. So it's just really, really cool to see how just learning and growing from the decision. The decision is not final.
Right.
Like we think if we make a decision that decision is final.
Yep, it's so
And
true.
that's what dictates like a pass or fail kind of feeling. But it's really like, no, that is just a stepping stone. That could just be that stepping stone to you growing and learning to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's life is filled with. In fact, there was it's talked about, one of the great businessmen was talking about it. Says his journey in business was filled with experiences that culminated in him being able to run a very large company. And it was the small things that built up over time, not any one big thing,
Right.
that helped him build the character to run the businesses that he runs.
That's
And
right.
it's crazy when you look at and you think, well, these guys, they just didn't know. They didn't. And Chris Nasetter, who runs Hilton, it was that story. You didn't even know who he was before that.
No.
He was just a person that was dedicated and serving well through different things, and now he's the CEO of Hilton Hotels. And it's just because of that. But he had one thing. He had a common thing that people loved, and that is he loved to serve people. Well, what do you need to do really well with hotels? Serve people. Right? So he's serving his employees to serve people well.
Wow.
And
That's so good.
it is inspiring. And we see Monique doing that and helping and really plugging in, but she's living the life.
Yeah.
Because you can't give other people something you don't have.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go into things that you're going to undertake with the expectation of not making a bad decision. You don't go into it thinking, but you can't let it derail you, right? Because
So
life
true.
isn't full of good decisions,
So true.
Right.
right? And they all have different outcomes, the decisions we make. But I believe you set yourself up for some real heartache and real disappointment if you don't believe that you're going to make a
Right.
decision that doesn't go the way you thought it should.
Exactly. And it's really just asking yourself that question, what can I learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just continually, what can I learn from this? Not like beating yourself up and like, oh, that was a horrible decision. That was so stupid. Like, that's not helpful.
No.
It doesn't help you to propel you forward. It's just asking yourself the simple question, like, what can I learn from this? How can I move forward? How can it propel me forward? And that's exactly what anyone who did any kind of Thomas Edison, anybody who ever did any kind
Yeah.
of major invention, they had to say, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
How
And
am I
Thomas
gonna keep
Edison
going?
said, over 1,000 times, he goes, I didn't fail. I just ruled out one more thing that wouldn't work.
Right.
Right? It's that
True.
mindset.
It is.
You could look at it either way, but which one's going to propel you and encourage you,
Exactly.
and which one's going to go, maybe I should give up.
So true.
That's right. And we have people who are our trainers, who like I really admire how they continually grow from their decisions and what they've made in their past, and has propelled them so far. We have Jackie and Carmen O'Quinn, and they're
Yes,
amazing
our master trainers who you know
Yeah.
and love as well, Butch. But they're equipped to instruct and lead, and why we've chosen them to walk alongside us and on this journey of with the first steps to success, which is coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
September 13th through 15th in
Getting
Raleigh,
close.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Get your tickets. Get your hotel room. I want to see you there. This place, we are 70 miles from where Jackie O'Quinn tells the stories of where he grew up. This is we're right in the heartland of O'Quinn land, right?
That's right. It's so powerful. Like if you just listen, follow directions, pay attention, and take action on what you grow, what you're learning and taking in, it's so powerful. It can
Very, very
really
true.
propel you
Yeah.
forward. And we would love to see you. Click on the link below, get your ticket, and we would love to see you at First Steps to Success in Raleigh, North Carolina, September
Yes.
13th through 15th.
Yes.
Can't wait.
It's going to be amazing. And they are really excited because it's like that hometown kind of feel, and
No,
it's
it
going to
is.
be
It's like a homecoming.
powerful. Yeah,
Everything
It's gonna be
about
very
it. And
powerful.
we're revved up. We're
And
ready
we
to
haven't
go.
ever been to Raleigh, North
No,
Carolina,
this is the
so
first.
that's gonna
This is
be-
the first steps in Raleigh,
Mhm.
North Carolina.
Mm.
so it's just really cool. It's really exciting.
So
Yep.
exciting!
yeah.
Yes.
So, what kind of decision are you making today? And always asking yourself, what can I learn from this? And moving forward. It's so powerful.
Yep.
And so practice that today. And till we see you next time on the next episode of Coffee with Ken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all
Like
have a
it,
great
share it, tell
That's right.
everybody. Monique Smith, we're proud of you.
Mhm. Thanks for joining us. See you
See you,
next time.
gang.